Speed and some sort of attack.
Speed and special for lower defense.
Okay. This is probably going to do a jack total. Oh, no. Man, I thought Magical Leaf did Sky Melodonna? Oh.
Oh, you got the... Wait.
Oh, yeah, because that doesn't that give like a...
Oh, the Sky... Oh, okay, yeah, it increases recruitment rate, I think.
That's what it said.
Yeah, that's one thing I do like about the randomizer is you find a lot of the items you just normally don't find. Except that the flip side of that is you don't find apples and reviver seeds and max elixirs.
Why does everything here know some sort of water move? It's so amusing. A Bidoo, new water pulse. Oh, also one of my favorite things is my shaman has stench as its second ability. Oh, that's wonderful. There is one floor alone, and it's a monster house.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is going to be painful. Let's see if I can do it.
Yeah, you want to rush for that room clearing move.
I can't. I'm dead, I think. For a very, very, very simple reason. I couldn't rush to the stairs because it's on the other side of the map. And so I have to go through all of the monsters. Hey, at least my Latios just learned Ingrain.
Oh, good, you can become immobile.
I died. Because they had some motherfucker had attack order and the other one had heat wave.
Ooh, that sounds rough.
Yeah, and guess what I am? A grass type!
Sounds like you need to not be that.
If only.
So, one thing you can do, which is up to you, you can look to see if you open up the file that you're currently playing in the not the randomizer. Oh, did you just download the randomizer itself?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you go back and download the other program, just the regular Sky Temple, you can actually look up to see what your move pool is that you got randomized, and you can edit it, of course. But
nah, I feel like that's being a bitch.
Mm-hmm. But but if you need to see if you need to grind to like level 50 to get that room clearing move so you can survive the monster house.
I feel like with Shaman and Latios, I should be able to get it at some point.
Yeah, you never know.
And Latios and Shaman, I think have very good TM allowances.
Yeah, probably.
Why does Icicle Spears miss so often?
Because it's a multi-hit move, and they only...
Fair. Oh, wow. Wait, doesn't Latios usually have... why are all the gummies tainted or unusable?
They like to throw in sticky items in the later dungeons to help add a level of difficulty. It's just it.
So I lost that I lost that harmonica because I died.
Mm-hmm. And all the enemies that you are having trouble with are going to be the same enemies until you pass that level.
Yeah. Why does Beldum have Blizzard? That's amazing. Bit. Beldum had Blizzard.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is going to take a while, isn't it?
Oh, I got something for you, Jeeps. Said I got something for you, Jeeps.
Bagels?
Game Twitch.
I have a feeling that exploiting Twitch is frowned upon by Twitch.
Yeah, probably.
Could be wrong.
Oh my god, so if you lose a lot, Metagross will give you things?
Oh yeah, yeah. They'll give you a small starter pack.
I've never seen that before.
Yeah, me neither.
Man, I'm discovering a lot of neat things today. It didn't help you much, did it?
The opposite of get good?
Yeah, basically, it's more like, okay, yeah, you're having a struggle, so here you go, something to help you.
I mean, it's very fitting for the character.
True, true. The souls of the innocent. A bagel!
No. Two
bagels.
We will be back on in just a moment, guys. Jane's getting set up now.
Cool beans. I think my button's working again.
A Garcedia!
That was the other funny thing. So in my game, I don't have a shaman, so I can't really test it out. Mm-hmm. But in the item's description, it says use it to transform a sun kern.
Use it on a Burmy.
Burmy.
I came across 2 PP lost moves, and now my shaman is out of moves to use.
Oh yeah, I would like to see if you can actually use that Skyflower.
It's what's it called? It's sticky, so I can't use it yet.
Because theoretically, that would give you a completely different set of level up moves and abilities.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Lottie. Okay, I need to disable ingrain.
Yeah, I finally had to get rid of Hornjill because it just wasn't doing anything because it misses all the time. Hey.
Hi.
Good morning, everybody. How was your fighting?
Good morning.
Yeah, pretty good. We figured out how it all works.
Yay! I'm so glad y'all had that practice time. Honestly, I think it's for the better. Just to sort of like smooth everything over.
Yes.
Yeah.
Always good to play test.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So since I have like an hour and a half, hey Louis, can you get me a new map up?
Yeah,
new page?
Sure.
Page. Y'all are sure all going to be playing adventure characters, kind of like mid-low level. You can think about like just it's a standard box standard like I have a sword. Yes. Or it can be more interesting. But as we only have an hour and a half, I'm not gonna get too much into backstory stuff. Your thing is you are going to a excellent. You're going to. Can you get rid of that grid, please? God, I hate grids.
Sure thing.
A small-ish town, decently sized, in the middle of a pretty big forest farm country, and are just there to celebrate a special day that comes once a year, called. No, some days come twice a year. Some days come 10,000 a year if you're very unlucky. Called Beaster Eve. It is a local festival. You celebrate all of the creatures that they, use in their crafts, in their food supplies, in helping the farms run. All the wild creatures of the wood. Sorry, I woke up yet. That phlegm made me laugh a little more harsh. Hello. And they sort of like gather together to renew and promise to take care of the land and its creatures and celebrate with food and games and wonderful things. And people, like thousands of people, come to this town every year, which only has like a few thousand people in it, anyways. So it's a pretty decently sized town, sort of spread out. More than a hamlet, definitely town. But unfortunately, this year, in the midst of all the revelry, a problem has arrived. Because as you all know, on the third day of the festival, there is a gigantic egg hunt for all of the denizens, and the kids enjoy it, and there's chocolate eggs and like pastry eggs. But the highlight, one reason people come to this town from all over the country, all over the world sometimes, is because there are special eggs. There's special, very rare eggs that have within them familiars, animal companions that will be loyal to you until beyond your death. And it turns out the folks in charge of acquiring those very, very special eggs this year just didn't. There's a bit of a fiasco with a little too much mead, not quite enough guards, and they are in the drunk tank right now and unable to fulfill their destiny. And it's the second day of the festival, so you have another day or so to get it. But you've all been gathered. The adventurers that you are, they've seen you play the games and succeed. One of you has a big stuffed creature under your arm as a prize. You've been filling yourself on caramel apples and popcorn.
Dibs on the stuffed animal.
You have a stuffed animal in your inventory. And they have seen you. They've spotted something in all of you. Maybe it's your slapdash way of going through the town and stealing all the prize. No, I'm just kidding. And your skill with the games, your skill with people, your prowess in general, and you have been gathered before the town mayor, who is just the buttonest little old lady that like Setsuna from Toriko style.
I'm sorry, all I'm imagining now is an actual old lady that's just a button.
There's a button with big hair and legs. Yeah, I spelled that. I did mean Setsuna. From Toriko, not from Naruto.
Naruto!
I'll just be in the background, JoJo posing with the stuffed animal here.
And it turns out, that she is she's just in need of just a couple of helpers. Louis, I'm just gonna put this in. This is Gavin Gawkin. Can you put her on the page?
Yeah, sure.
I was gonna do a new Roll20 thing, but I'm like, that's too much work. I don't do that. Send some stuff to Louis.
Whoops.
Those are not pretty old ladies.
Spoiler: she erupts and bursts into 3 demons.
I knew this town was too good to believe.
Not quite. Hold on, I'll get it sorted out in a moment.
Sure. So she entreats you all, and because of the time limitations, you all accept to venture into the Beast Woods.
What did she throw that looks so familiar?
Toriko. The anime. Food fighting.
Don't know.
Itadakimasu. Yeah, and sensory soup. We live in a gold Jedi. And
all the references.
all the references. And she entreats you, saying that you'll be the highlight of the festival. You'll be praised and celebrated. If you go through the woods and find these special beast eggs. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, sorry. As I mentioned, I am still waking up. My phlegm is gonna go, but yeah. So I think we have that little conversation with her, and then we turn around to see what everyone else looks like. We're gonna start with let's just do the top of the Jeebs. At the top of the Discord list. What's your face and general appearance, and maybe a skill you have?
I'm a 7'2" Goliath with a deep voice and a teddy bear that is about 3 feet long. And my teddy bear is my weapon, and I am a barbarian who can rage.
Excellent. I love it. Mutton, mutton.
Yeah.
What are
Yeah,
you? Who are you? What are you? Who are you?
Okay. I am a squat, short-legged orc
Uh-huh.
with a big apron and a bunch of burlap, and always with a sort of backwards lean, with arms hanging out behind them, kind of Ed and Eddie style, and walks with a real swagger to no voluntary volition of his. He has these two big tusks and an underbite, usual thing. Always seems to be looking slightly towards the ceiling. And his
Do you say dwarf or orc?
Orc.
Okay.
Probably with some dwarf blood.
Dwark.
It's a war, yeah.
Dwarf.
And special skill that my character has is actually climbing.
Climbing.
Has really strong arms. Can climb all over the place.
Okay.
Oh, I never gave a name. My character's name is Bjorn.
Okay.
Got Bjorn.
Okay.
My name is going to be Smocklin.
Smocklin. A draft horse.
Smocklin the draft horse.
Yeah. That's his nickname because he's also really good at dragging things, you know.
Sure. Okay. Transversing down the list, Kitty. Kitty cat.
As is tradition, I am playing a tall, well, not very tall, about 5 foot tall.
The perfect height.
A little bit hunched over, very fluffy. He is a cat. He is the bard. He has a little instrument. He makes little noises. He inspires people. He sits back most of the time and knows when to run like hell. His special ability, he knows how to direct people. Call out little things.
He's a manager.
He is the performer and manager all wrapped into one.
And what is your name?
His name is It's the only name that I could actually listen and understand.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be
no. You've returned.
The beast of
You don't carve Okay.
The tilde is important.
Last but not least, Bit. Hello.
I'm the dwarven drinker for the most part. I have a big fluffy beard full of foam from my last pint. I make very swell rum cakes.
Rum cakes. Is that your skill?
That is my skill.
All right.
Romfug is the name.
Romfug. Absolutely. Fantastic. Okay, and so you all have been drafted. You've been plied with treats before this, and given a rough map of the forest, and it is quite rough. They are not cartographers in this town generally, and also they want to keep the location of. Can't move that. Can't move that once it's done. Oh, no, I can. Okay, there we are. Okay. Here, I'll just make that real big. Look, sometimes things happen as goofs, and they're real and true, and everyone loves them. Yes. Yeah, so these are our wonderful characters. So all you know is you have this map. It's got like a couple of there's a river drawn on it. There's a couple of tree clusters. There's like a cave at the end with a big X on it, and you're like, just get what's in that cave and bring it back. Yeah.
I volunteer to read the map. I read one language, and it is not common.
Well, that's luckily for you. There are no words on this map. It is very simple.
Glad you can read maps. I can't read at all.
I can read is a music notes.
My intelligence score is 3.
Can you put,
might
Greg,
have to be decently high to manage my own stuff.
can you put Granny Satsuna in the corner as I have to draw a map?
Sure thing.
As you go. Okay, so this is going to be
Interrupt by characters.
draw shape. We'll do shapes this time. Make them all green. So here's the town. Boop. And there's the trees at the edge of the forest. You have to go over here, up here, around here, over here. Double back over yourself, and then and there is a river you have to cross 3 times.
3 times.
Also, magic doesn't work. Yeah. This is all real, and I thought about this beforehand. There's like trees.
Are you sure it's not the sleep idled ideas coming out?
No,
sorry.
I'm very awake. Everyone can hear me talking, and that means I'm awake. Right, Louis?
That's how it normally works.
Mutton, throw an Easter egg at Jean for me, please.
We don't have Easter eggs. We have marshmallow eggs.
Yeah, that works too.
Do you have a beast?
Might be later.
I mean, we have cats.
Okay. Let's not throw the cat.
Whoever knows what surprises they are.
Detective sometimes turns into an egg shape.
He does. Mostly shrimps, but sometimes eggs. Yeah. So, and the reason you can't just take a shortcut here is because there's jagged cliffs. Yeah.
But I think, thankfully, we have a nice little climber friend who can probably.
A climber friend, you say? Interesting.
Give me a pint and I can jump it.
It is going down in the direction that you're. Okay, and draw shape freehand, and one more thing. There is a spooky cave. Oh. What's in this cave? Who knows? It's a mystery.
It's surprisingly hard to find a Goliath who looks intimidating and also carrying a teddy bear. I'm not sure why.
I searched Goliath with a teddy bear, and it just gave me a bunch of teddy bears and a spider made out of teddy bears.
I was so upset.
We need these niche things. Okay. Yeah, you set out, and you have a number of challenges ahead. And I'm going to give you a little. I'm going to put an image.
That is an image.
That is an image. It's also very big. Look, can you? No, I'm gonna make I'm gonna get a smaller person as a stand-in character.
Wilfred.
Sure.
No, not Wilfred. Basil.
Nice.
I can't drag Basil.
I can drag Basil.
Yeah. So you've been charged where you are on the map, and at certain points, there'll be Mystery encounters. So, how are you proceeding through the every like? There's not just trees like just where I put them. Like there's trees everywhere. It's a very thick forest. I'm definitely not inspired by any animes I've been watching lately.
Which one is it, Gene? Which one?
What? Torko. Yeah, and you have a just over a day to find. Like the sooner you could find them, the better. So they could like put them on display and have people like pick their favorite ones and try to aim for. And they have to go hide them too. So like the sooner you get this done, the better. They know it's a big ask. It should only take you a few hours if everything goes well to get to the cave. If things go poorly, they'll send someone else.
I have the map, so I'll go first.
Just simply ask, can any of you swim?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll go good arms.
I
My
can
legs aren't
swim.
too good, but I can paddle. I'm really good with the butterfly.
And he does a doggy kick. That's what
Well, maybe we could simply go across a river at a certain point. Just if it's not rapid enough, and we can just swim across.
And there should be like some bridge work over these things, as this is a path they take every year, and sometimes during the year to check on the beast eggs. It's not an incredibly wild event. They're not just asking 3 strangers to risk their lives for nothing. It's just everyone's so busy and it's a little dangerous, and they just don't feel comfortable sending just anyone.
I'm going to look at the sun and try to calculate where north is and say we should head in that direction, and then point in probably the exact wrong direction. I don't know why you gave the barbarian the map. I've got like terrible stats.
You took it. You said, I'm going to read. North.
I have the keen mind feat. No.
Okay, we all see the 4 cardinal directions.
Mm-hmm. North, under, left, and fulcrum.
Yep.
Yes. Left. I want to head left. I'm not sure which direction is left. East or left.
Never leave your friend.
Everyone has fun.
But yes, I think I would like to try to cut straight across here. Is this like just a forest? Can we not cut straight across?
All this area is forest.
Yeah.
And it will take you much, much longer to go through the forest than to take the road. But if you want to do it, you can. You're adventurous. You can do whatever you want.
I'd like to cut through the forest.
All right. And how are you cutting through the forest? Like
with my axe.
Absolutely. Destroying a sacred forest just to get some eggs. 100%. I'm behind it. So you sort of like, yeah. You head towards the road first, and then you sort of like take a hard fulcrum and skirt around the edge of the woods, ducking into some trees and some low underbrush. Like there are some couple of paths like closer to town that'll help you like break in without being suspicious. And why don't you give me a survival? Just roll a d20. Just
okay.
d20s here. We're friends.
Yeah.
Just roll some d20s.
17.
Ooh, that's pretty good. I think you managed to find an old. It's pretty fascinating because the wildlife here, because the woods have been encouraged by magics and time and culture to grow wild and free, and the trees are gigantic, but there's also like areas that like have been like clear cut years ago, but the trees are still pretty big, and you find just a little bit into the woods a rabbit run, which is a natural pathing that small animals take in the underbrush of the woods. So you don't actually have to cut that much.
I cut anyway.
You cut anyways because fuck this forest. You don't live here. You don't care. You do what you got to do to get things done. And you manage to make your way across the first impasse.
Just one quick thing.
Yeah.
Do you mind if Smocklin, before we go, or while Bjorn is like spending all this time cutting down the first tree,
and he's like
the path,
searching the woods for the right trail, and he's like, not this one.
if Smocklin could like just in the festival go and stuff his pockets full of corn dogs before he catches up with them?
Sure, absolutely. You know what? They bring you a fresh bouquet of corn dogs before you set out.
Bouquet is the
They
right
want to
word.
supply their
Yes.
adventurers. Yeah.
That's the perfect word for this.
Look, I'm a romantic.
Happy Valentine's Day. Have this bouquet. Oh wait, these are corn dogs.
He's gonna catch up and say, "I got snacks if anyone gets hungry while we're going."
Oh,
Oh,
snacks.
that is excellent thinking.
Bjorn is tapping into his natural history of all Goliaths have and is cutting a path.
Yeah, so can you move your person beyond the first row of trees as you have successfully traveled? And I think since you're the one who did the action to get through the trees, oh no, that the whole cluster is the line of trees. So,
Okay.
yeah, like you celebrated your success halfway through, and then you just kept going. I think you can add since you got a 17. 2 of you can add bundles of firewood to your inventory,
Ooh.
or bundles of wood.
Oh, of course. Being the supervisor, he's never going to touch them himself.
No,
So
you would get dirty.
He's going to point at Smucklin and Ramprog, and he'd be like, "You two look very, very strong. It looks like you can carry a lot on your back. If we carry this firewood, we might be able to wheel if something needs fired, or we need to dry off after we take a swim. It'd be nice to have on hand."
Okay.
Yep.
Carry some fire.
I'll take one of the firewoods because I'm strong.
Mm-hmm. And since you were so efficient with it, it only took you a few hours to get to where you are. Like now, you're in one of the like the lower like wood sections where it's like easier to go through, and there's trails or there's natural pathways.
What's this blue line right here? That's almost invisible.
That's the path you must take.
That's the path we're not taking.
Of course not.
Here, does this help?
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, no worries.
I have certain color blindness, so that kind
that's
of
fine.
blue and white are very hard for me to see together.
Oh, sure. Can you see the cliffs well enough?
Yeah, right here.
Yeah. Okay.
These are pointing this way, right? Like they're pointing to us.
Yeah. So you would go from the north to the under, and then you'd be looking over cliffs down.
Well,
yeah.
Tapping his loot. He's gonna look at those cliffs, then at the Smocklin, to the cliffs to the Smocklin, and then back to the cliffs. Smocklin, do you think you can carry someone on your back while you climb?
Oh yeah, maybe one person. Bjorn might be a bit heavy, but I'll give it a go.
I mean, if you got snacks on you, we can make you a little fire to rest at every now and then. It might be quicker just to have you carry us up and over the cliffs instead of having to walk all around the big furthest area and through the river and around whatever that hump, and whatever they have at the little circle thing over there.
I could carry someone.
I mean, he's pretty good at cutting trees. There's another tree, right?
It's just there is no spoon this entire pathway.
Yeah, you'd be climbing down the cliffs.
Okay.
Smocklin, would you like to take the lighter one and I'll take the heavy one?
Yeah, sure.
But you don't see the cliffs. Like, you're not near the cliffs right now. You're near the pathway in the river. Look where your Basil is.
What if I'm on my tippy toes?
Nope. It's very thick forest, even where it's low. And
I
you
don't
are
even know how high the cliffs are. I'm just
hundreds and hundreds of yards away. Like, this is a big path. This will take you hours. Yeah.
We're not working with this path, are we?
I think as you traverse through the woods, you see the path. You see it, like, maybe you get up to like this area here, and you're like, oh, there it is.
I imagine there's like this very pretty road sign on here saying "Go this way," and we're like, "Oh, screw that."
Yeah, it's like it's definitely cleared. There's even like a water station here and a little bench, like in memory of Gorgug.
Is there a little girl selling lemonade?
No, but there is a serve yourself lemonade stand with lemons and fresh water.
I'd like to intimidate the lemonade stand.
All right, roll me intimidation check.
19. Give me all your lemonade or I'll hit you with this teddy bear.
I'm gonna refresh my sheet because I did not see your roll.
I'm not seeing it either. I'm actually taking
Me
a while to
neither.
get through.
Oh, crap.
Yeah.
I see now.
Okay. I reloaded. I'm coming back. Like, all right. So you do your. How do you intimidate this? You yell at it.
Oh, yeah. I yell really loud.
Sure. So you yell really loud at this like a glass serving pitcher that's like fed by Mountain Dew, and what happens is your face reflects back from within the container, more terrifying than you could ever have imagined.
Because it's yellow.
Yeah, and you scare yourself, and following your instincts, you bolt into the woods, into the thicker woods for protection, off the path. So please move yourself into the woods between the river and the edge of that heavier copse of trees. So the three of you see your friend, or associate. Who's to say if you knew each other beforehand?
We should probably follow him. It looks like he got the scent.
Another tree.
It's this way.
Yeah, so he is retreating backwards. Yeah, waving the map, saying it's this way, playing off his fears, and his head into the somewhat ominous section of the woods. The canopy is tighter. There's a soft mist the deeper in you go. And you get a fair bit, maybe like 10-15 minutes before you all stop, catch your breath. There's not quite much of a clearing, but maybe like a tree has gone over, so there's a bit of space where you can collect yourselves. And you realize that there's just like a soft like bird noise, just like very, very distant, but sort of around you. There's not much of that forest sound of life and vibrancy that you'd gotten used to.
It's really pretty here.
I'm going to point down to the middle of the clearing. We should probably have a fire and cook those corn dogs a little bit extra crispy so we can have a nice little warm snack to eat.
Yeah.
This is
And then you
really
do?
mysterious.
I missed that, man. What was that?
It's ruddy mysterious.
Oh, yes.
Who is starting the fire to cook the corn dogs?
I'll give it a go.
Sure.
The manager, the supervisor has to also show he's willing to do anything that he orders. So
lead by example. Just a D20, and luckily, your group has firewood, because as you search around this area, you realize that the wood underneath is like sodden and rotten. And you managed to get a pretty good fire going with the wood that you had on. So one of you mark off that you've used your firewood.
I'll do it.
Okay. And then you cook up the corn dogs, and they're crispy and delicious, and some of them have cheese in them. Some of them are vegan. There's one that's just like a candy cane wrapped in like a maple pancake. It's a bit sweet.
I take a bite out of the vegan one and get very confused.
It tastes like meat, but I'm not refreshed as if I had meat.
Yeah, I'm gonna dunk one in my pint and then down them both.
Oh, that sounds good.
Is going to eat it with the grace and poise of a rocker. So it's all over him.
I've just got a fistful of like 6 of them.
One of you eats it like a cartoon fish. Like you just put the whole thing in your mouth and like pull out the stick, but it's fish bones. And everyone is thoroughly refreshed. It's been a bit, so you were getting a bit peckish. And as you sort of like bask in the afterglow of the corn dogs, you realize that though the forest is quiet, you can hear the sound of rushing water to the under.
What
And
sort
perhaps
of Russian
nearby
is it?
a
Is it
river.
like Belarus or is it more like Moscow?
I mean, you'd have to go find out.
I'd like to investigate.
All right, you head off. And I would like people to take turns doing rolls, if that's okay with everyone.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm not the best at
Yeah.
investigating.
Yeah, so you look and you come across a somewhat deep gully, maybe 20 feet at parts to 10 feet apart, of a quite wide, maybe 40-foot across river that's sort of like it's got rapids in it, and it's a little bit murky from all the activity and like being tossed up. And you see like a small tree in the distance like get finally just worn down with the roots and like pulled into the water, and it crashes and it floats, and it really kind of breaks apart a little bit as it floats by you, using GM techniques of showing you how dangerous this river is.
I
Yeah.
have a fantastic idea that will not go wrong at all.
Let us hear it.
We get a tree, we chop it down, and then we ride the tree, and then it'll probably go to the path.
Yeah, and the tree that got
Right.
pulled down was a small tree too, so it might work.
I can hold
it-
on really well to the tree.
All is going to look over to Borjon, the one with the map. It's the river by the cave that we need to go to.
No, the river goes in the exact wrong direction.
So we probably do not want to ride a river, a log down. What happens if we cut down a very long tree and just simply walk across?
Rumford is going to down another pint, throw the pint to the ground, and full on charge at a tree. One that
Beautiful.
Sure.
side.
Beautiful.
Give me a strength check, as a lot of these trees are, as I mentioned before. Ooh,
Beautiful.
there is a horrendous cracking noise and a shudder as the tree begins to give way, and then it falls in the completely opposite direction, and then doesn't even fall all the way over, and its canopy gets caught on another tree, making it even more stuck in the woods. And its roots come up a little bit, but they're very deep. So yeah, you sort of pushed one over a little bit.
Guys.
You're all mossy, and you kind of like twinged your shoulder just like a little bit, like it's gonna be fine. But you're like,
It looks like the river passes the path in both directions, though.
Yeah. And the river's going really fast, so it'll take us to the path really fast.
What
You have a point
direction
there.
is the river running? Like,
That
is
is also
downstream
very-
left or right?
well, if you look, I have
Oh, that's
Is it
the...
me?
Okay, cool.
arrows.
Cool.
Yes.
Well, that one tree is not good. How is our firewood cut?
You have
Um,
one unit.
It is
campfire's worth.
cut very carefully into chips.
Oh.
Oh, give me a bit, guys. I got it. I'll try again. After a minute, I'm just gonna down another pint and ram towards another
Sure.
tree.
With advantage, because if you're using your pint ability.
Nice.
Natural 20.
You don't even need it. Roll it again. Yeah, just to see if you get any. So, rolling is all of my games, generally in medium ones, but not all of my games. If you get a natural 20, you get a magical item. So, since it is Easter, you sort of like you search around and you realize that one of the trees nearby, like some of them don't quite smell as earthy and vibrant with life. So you're like, oh, this one, and you like take it and you maybe like chip a little bit on the underside of one, and then you just poof, you slam into it, and it snaps quite cleanly across the base. And there is a rip and a tear and a shudder of leaves. Some of the branches fall in, like birds' nests fall in. There's a squirrel that's like, ah! oh. And
Did you
it
get a magic squirrel?
no. It's like, fuck you, I'm dead! And he falls in the river and floats away. Hey, you guys! Black Taurus! Come back to Canada!
Shut up.
And he's pulled under the water. He's never be seen again. Definitely won't be go back as Vengeance.
Definitely.
And the tree crashes across the river, making a makeshift bridge. And this like sweet, dark smell begins to emanate all around you as you realize that you have knocked over a cocoa tree. And that
chocolate.
you look, and from the center white to the outer very, very bitter dark, every ring of this tree is a different kind of chocolate. And it has been growing in this forest for 100 years.
DM,
There's even a couple of rose colored.
Could I harvest some chocolate?
You could harvest some chocolate. There's a whole trunk. And a stump of chocolate.
I'm going to add 1 chocolate stump to my inventory.
Just the whole, you just like peel it down again and have like a big round. Like, I'm gonna say the tree's like, I'm using my arms here, 3 feet round. That seems big enough to get across the river. Yeah. So, 3 feet round, a foot like deep for the trunk piece that you have. It's quite heavy. But it is. Oh, it's just making your mouth water. Oh, it's so.
Oh god, lovely bunch of coconuts.
Oh, and in the tree, like there's some like maybe it had damage, and there's like a brittle where the sap like had to come together. So
Ooh.
it is. Yeah, right.
That sounds delicious.
What are the leaves like? Are they chocolate as well?
No, they're regular leaves.
Oh,
They're regular ass leaves.
just regular ass leaves.
Yeah.
Smoklin is chewing the leaves and thinking, "Who's the weirdest chocolate I've ever tasted? So fibrous."
Okay. So the leaves are a little sweet. They're like sweet clover leaves.
Okay.
They're ass leaves. Yeah, and the shape. They have a very distinct heart shape, one could say, or a butt if one was otherly inclined.
I am so inclined, yes.
So,
Well,
yeah.
It's just going to gather about an armful of these butt-shaped leaves. And he's gonna be like, I could write my name on these and give them out. It would be perfect calling cards.
Yeah, they're kind of like a more succulent type leaf too. So not quite like aloe, but like those thicker, waxier leaves you see in like plants and offices.
Real sick.
Yeah. So you have a trunk of chocolate, thick ass leaves, and a bundle of some thick ass leaves.
Perfect.
Yeah. And as you cross over, you realize that your adventuring path has taken you to the edge of part of the deeper forest, and you pass by, and you end up at the cliffs where that tiny purple dot is. At the very edge of the cliffs, and they stretch before you, sort of a break in the forest, a scar on the world, as it were, dropping off to the, what did I call it? Dropping off to the left. Dropping off to the under, but your left.
Right.
If north is forward, then your left is left. And just like 100 feet at least into a darker canopy. And you see, as you sort of like peer over you can see like where the road kind of appears next to the cliffs.
Oh, I found the path.
But it's ages away.
That.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cast the spell Find the Path. There it is.
You make a little tube with your fingers and hold it up to your eyes. Oh, get an invisible telescope.
I say there's no winning in tabletop role-playing games, but if we're playing Pathfinder, we just won.
The reason I married you.
So
yeah. So
Sorry, go on.
The cliff top as you emerge from this forest is not without its own dangers. There is a wind rushing over and down into the forest. Not unlike a dangerous river of wind, but no, it's just kind of windy here. And the closer you get to the edge, the more jagged.
I got a dip to join some of
Oh,
my friends.
okay.
I didn't expect this to go as long as it did.
Aw.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry. Bye bye.
How? Okay, bye.
Bye,
Oh, how does Ah escape
Yeah,
or
like
vanish?
you get blown off.
No, how I imagine it is it's like they all turn around, they hear ah, and then he's gone.
All right. I'll see you next
Why?
week then, Cat.
Yep.
The reason why? A very, very scary spider.
Ah.
Yeah, and he ran into the woods. But some of you may assume he went over the cliff. All right, bye.
And there was 3.
And then there were 3. Are y'all good for going for another like 50 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm totally
Okay.
free.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought I had until 1, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I could have double checked. This is still not the select tool. Don't look at that. I gotta delete that. It's like I made a dot and then try to get rid of the dot. Don't. There's nothing over there. Quiet, you. Who's asking? So you're at the edge of a big cliff. There's like remnants of vegetation, like fresh vines over some parts of it. So it could be climbable, but it is like I mentioned, about 100 feet down. So it would take quite a bit of strength and ability to surpass this challenge.
My arms have those things.
Oh, you pull up your sleeves. You got some tattoos. All right, roll me a d20 too. And how are you getting down there? Are you just going down by yourself? You just like, I'm gonna check it out. Are you helping your friends down? You're scouting a path so they can get down. Are you trying to look for stairs?
Do you want to carry the dwarf and I'll carry this very heavy teddy bear?
Yeah, sure. We'll give it a go. Smocklin is going to see if he is practiced enough climber to know that the path of least resistance is not always easy to see, but it is the best route, even if it's not the most direct route. So he's going to try and use his experience in climbing to navigate it down that way.
Sure.
So that people behind him can follow a similar path.
Sure, and with advantage, because this is your skill. Roll me.
Alrighty.
Them bones.
Oh,
Draft
yeah.
horses
Yes.
typing.
Typing with these big hooves.
We're going to make sure you take some water. Oh, 20. All right. So, you managed to, you sort of scout the edge of the cliff for a fair bit. And you come to the divot, right? Boop, 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 boop. Here. And you realize that there is, although it's hard to see from an angle, now that you're sort of like looking down from above, there's a sort of zigzagged route down with easier handholds and some old stones, and like partway down, you think you might see like the inset of an alcove that you can only see from this angle, maybe probably from below as well. And you managed to find quite an easy path for your friends to get down with a giant trunk of chocolate.
It's, by the way,
She's
getting
getting
smaller every hour because I'm nomming on it.
Oh, you're nomming on it, are you?
Just a little bit.
Well, I believe it was a magical item.
Oh, no.
You already forgot.
I already forgot.
Look, I got 3 intelligence, okay? I can't remember these things.
That's quite fair. You feel great. The trunk isn't as heavy. You feel like there is a twinge in your knee that you've had for a bit that's sort of like not noticeable right now. You just like, you feel more refreshed. Like you rub your cheeks and they feel like more like, I was gonna say squished up. What's the plush. That's not quite right either. You just feel healthy. You feel more invigorated. Yeah. You feel as though whatever illnesses or woes your body has been suffering, like your scars get lighter and softer as you've been traveling for like an hour or two.
Oh no, now the ladies won't find me as dashing.
Yeah. Oh, they're still there, but they're like,
good.
oh, he's a good healer. He could provide. What?
Lachlan's like, hey Bjorn, all your acne's cleared up.
Oh, thank goodness.
Your cystic acne is great now. Yeah. And as you see this pathway down, you realize that it is, you may not have noticed in the woods, but the sun has been rapidly setting to the
fulcrum?
Fulcrum. That was like
To the fun side.
And you know, as dangerous these woods are during the day, they are almost lethal during the night. But your friend has found an alcove at least, perhaps more. And a magical item in his uppance to come. So you make your way down the cliff?
Yeah.
Do we want to stay here for the night like pansies, or do we continue on?
Well, I'm really more of a daisy myself.
Me too.
And you climb down the cliff without too much fuss, and it is an alcove, and you sort of like tuck in. You have to duck your head, one of you. I'm not going to say which.
Probably the dwarf.
Yeah. It's an archway, and he wants to go close to the wall, so he has to duck. Everyone else is fine. And it's got a couple of like amount of supplies. Like there's a small chest to protect from animals with like some rations in it and like extra bed rolls. You think maybe the people who do this route normally could stay here during the night should they find themselves entreated too. And there's also more campwood. There's magic stones that heat up, so non-usable, like non-burn throughable, but enchanted to work within the circle of stones in this alcove for a nice snooze time. And you make your
rest.
rest.
It's all very well set up to be a accommodation for the night, so we don't die.
Yeah. And you think about that, and I will be right back. I have to use the bathroom. I'll be back in a minute. Think about what you want to do going forward.
All right.
I'd like to play rock, paper, scissors.
I got rock.
I call paper.
Oh, I lost to Brock.
How
about we stay here and in the morning we go really fast down the path and just like run really fast all the way to the cave. Possibly screaming with our arms in the air.
I mean, I'm running out of drink myself, so the faster means more drink. That's a win.
Now remember, when we go down to
Let gravity do the work.
To the path, we have to go left.
Right.
No, left.
Right.
I don't think we would go right, we'll go left.
Or if we go right, then we'll be left.
Oh, so yeah, we go right for 3 times, so we go left.
It's pretty much a straight shot from here down to the caves. I said that earlier, but I was muted.
Right.
Left.
I mean left. yeah, that's right.
So it should be pretty quick to get there from here.
Mm-hmm.
Also, this voice really hurts my throat.
You picked a very gravelly voice. I can tell you very much from experience that you are not going to last more than 2 hours like that.
Look, this is going to be my new voice for Liddy.
Linny got swole.
Okay, so you what have you decided? What did I miss?
We're gonna be
So-
pansies and sleep here.
Excellent.
We'll sleep here, and then in the morning, when we get down to the path, we're going to go left.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, left.
I'm gonna go right. Got it. You stand in a circle, and each of you goes left, and you're never seen from again.
We all face different directions and then go left.
Exactly. And magically, you end up at the same place. Weird. What lovely railroad tracks I put on. Yes. So you find yourselves to rest. You talk about your adventures or not, and you tuck yourselves into bed. And it's quite lovely.
We play a lot of rock, paper, scissors.
You play
of the
a lot of rock, paper, scissors.
Bjorn only uses paper.
Bjorn with disadvantage roll a d20. Everyone else roll a d20. Just to see who the ultimate winner of this.
Dad, are you talking to anybody?
I got a 16 with disadvantage.
Yeah, absolutely. Your ancient family skill of using paper only and rock, paper, scissors, it plays mind games with the other two companions too much, and they can't handle it. They crumple under the pressure, leaving you the victor in the hard-fought and well-won.
After the
Rock, paper, scissors
17th round, they're sure I'm gonna play rock this time.
They're so sure they're dead. It's just confidence, unbound.
In reality, I just don't know the rules.
Yeah. Like
Lachlan
you've
just-
never lost.
Smucklin just crumples to the ground with his head in his hands. Oh,
Oh, don't worry, I got a plate for you too.
it's gonna make my headache even more.
I'll share some of my chocolate stump with the others in the morning.
Yeah.
We
So
need a hearty breakfast.
So you all settle in, and I want to keep saying draft horse. And Smucklin,
Yes.
as you're settling in, you see something like sharp poke your side, and you reach in and find a small pendant, and just modest, maybe like pewter cast, but with a large, like sort of like, I'm going to say jelly bean sized, an eggplant sized, a burrito sized,
Taco bean size.
a taco bean sized, like little purple gem in it.
Ooh.
And it has a little attachment. It can be worn as a brooch, and it
Ah.
is quite fetching. And you feel like you've seen it before somewhere, and you can't quite put your finger on it. But yeah, it sort of like sparkles in the magic stone light. Yeah.
Maybe someone lost it. I'll keep it around so if I can find the person in the village who it belongs to, I can give it back.
He's gonna
Yeah.
he's gonna attach it to his lapel.
Absolutely. Put a lovely brooch.
Lovely brooch.
Okay. And you all get to sleep. And the next morning, yeah. Yeah. As the birds chirp you awake, and you make your way. You have a bit of chocolate breakfast, and all of you feel much relaxed. What chocolate dish do you prepare for breakfast?
Chocolate mash.
You make a lovely heap of chocolate mash, which I imagine is all of the chocolates together mashed.
It's a great recipe.
It's delicious. You think it might be a bit much, but with the lightly cherry flavored, like pink chocolate and like the white chocolate and like a bit of the The bark itself is sort of like just like a crumbly biscuit, so that sort of helps. Yeah, it's not too sweet. It's really, really good.
About to say chocolate rum cakes.
Yes, you you think of that as you climb down the hill. It's like, ooh, next time. Yes, quite right. Yeah, and you make your way, and you find yourself for the first time on the path. You crossed over it briefly before, but this time, yeah,
Feels
here you are.
so solid and sure beneath my feet.
Yeah, and you could reach side to side and not hit trees.
What's the fun in that?
Right, I forgot my notes for this session.
Uh-oh.
Excellent. What? Don't worry about it. Yeah, and are you gonna follow the path? I mean, it's almost a direct line. It would be quite foolish not to. But you don't
but
have
that's like my
to.
middle name, Bjorn Foolish Bjornstarn.
Yeah,
And foolish is spelled BJORN. It's pronounced foolish.
It's a Bjornish spelling.
Bjornish. It's fucking Smurf Village. Borntastic.
Yeah, I think we'll follow the path.
How do we ever make a decision without a supervisor?
Yeah, you're torn with indecision, and a voice in the wind says, "The path you went in."
Fly, you fools.
I mean, treasured employees. It's look great on your quarterly review.
See, this is a great representative of a supervisor who takes us halfway and then abandons us.
Yeah, it's like, look, I got a thing I got to get to. One of my best friends is going to a stag party, and I got to be there to support
You
them.
guys can
Going
finish
to take
this.
full credit for everything once we get back.
Oh, absolutely. He's already drafting his report, like from a top-up plush pony following the path back.
I'm going to ask the teddy bear what he thinks we should do.
His head, like you kind of like wiggle him a little bit in directions, and it flops forward to the path.
Teddy bear says path. That's the way we go.
and with the drunken belch, Remford's just going to go down the path screaming and running with the hands up in the air.
Oh yeah, that's my idea. Yeah, let's go.
So, it's about you take a couple of breather marks, but it only takes you like 45 minutes with this path to get what would normally have taken you hours. So in the early morning, still full of chocolate. Maybe that's why you ran so fast and so hard and didn't get so out of breath. You oh nope, that's the entire path. Don't look at that.
Just move the path. We're not going to follow the path. We're going to pull the path along behind.
The whole path comes up. The town springboards into the sky.
That's how physics works, right?
Yes.
Some
And
Paul
as you're
Bunyan shit
traveling,
right here.
you're traveling. Could you all roll me a d20, blessed by the chocolate, to see if you notice anything interesting on your way? 4? Perfect. Great. Good job. JB, your rolls today have been...
You see, the reason why is because I pay roll 20.
I have friends that roll 20. That never works for me. In fact, they have worse rolls than I do. Wait a second. Yeah, as you're approaching the cave, you've been adventurous for a while. You know how to track certain signs of creatures. I'm going to just back over here. And some of the signs you've been getting are a bit confusing. You see, like things like places cleared as would a human, or humanoid. Don't be racist. As would an orc, but made with the scratchings of large talons, or the brushing of fur. You can still see it in the dust in certain places, little tufts on branches, and you begin to suspect that animals, perhaps more intelligent than your average, but also much, much bigger, live in this area. Although discreetly hid away, you find the droppings, pebble-like, but quite large, of rabbits, the scratching of perhaps chicken feet, and tufts of some sort of mammalian fur in black and white and some tan.
I'm gonna examine it. Does it taste normal?
It tastes quite normal, yes.
Okay.
Everything has a similar mouthfeel as would normally. I think maybe the droppings, if you crack them open, have a slightly less digested as the intestine system is larger and it's less efficient.
That makes sense.
Yes. Quite normal, yes.
Perhaps we are near the lair of the legendary Jackalopetrus.
That sounds made up.
I mean, Mum told me it was made up after she told me the story, but I still think it's real.
Yeah.
I have a cousin named Jackalopetrus.
Bjorn, your foot crunches down on something in the underbrush as you're sort of like trying to be a little more discreet with your actions now that you know. And you pull your foot back, and there is a flash of bright color as you reach down and pull up a chip, like maybe a size of a thing, Cadbury egg? A Pringle. That makes more sense. Of a Pringle that you had stepped on, a slightly curved with bright spots on the outside in blue and yellow and orange. A colored eggshell. Similar to ones that have been mocked up in the village, but this one is actual egg and not like chocolate or I was at plastic. I'm like, no, that doesn't.
I'm a sniff it.
It smells of egg.
Gentlemen, this here smells like egg.
Could it be the egg? Like the one of the ones that Granny Setsuna told us about.
I'm not sure, but I think there's a possibility that this is either an egg or something that smells like one.
Well, that narrows it down quite well. You're very knowledgeable, Bjorn.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I thought so too.
And you hear a sound cry out as the last vestiges of morning give way to the early afternoon. Hey. The direction of the cave.
Could I roll a nature check?
Sure.
Remember, my intelligence is 3.
Absolutely.
So what is that, -4? I'm putting the -4 in.
It's just D20s.
Okay.
Well, you think it might be.
I think Oz over there.
Because they said So, you're pretty confident.
Since it's a friend, I'm gonna run towards it.
We got to save him from the Jackalopetrus.
Once again, one of you just bolts off. A lot of running in this. It's good. Very quick. We got a limited amount of time.
I'm a barbarian with lots of constitution. That's what I do.
Yeah, you're all full of that chocolate energy. You're gonna have a stomachache later, but for now, you're fine. Yeah, and you run, and at one point you just like, oh, it's like a couple of minutes, but like maybe just head down towards, and you slam into something very soft and downy, but also incredibly firm, and you almost bounce off of it as you fly back in the dirt, and your two friends running behind you see, and you like anime style like rub your eyes, and you see that like the morning sun, because it rises in the fulcrum rises.
It rises in the left and sets in the fulcrum.
And rises in the left. So you you hit a creature and you bounce toward Fulcrum so that this narratively works. Otherwise, it wouldn't make any sense. You're on your back in the dirt, and you look up and you rub the dirt out of your eyes, and you see sun behind the head, the silhouette, the cockcomb and the feathers and the large, bigger than you body of a chicken.
You're looking a little weird today.
And the other of you see that this chicken is, 1, gigantic, and 2, has like a yellowy, downy head, kind of, and that fades to like bright blue feathers with like a red tail with like yellow dots on it.
It might just be me, but perhaps I've been drinking a little bit too much.
And you are in front of the cave as well. And it sort of like peers at you all, like switching back and forth, getting you all. And it just goes, "Wah!" Just one quick droosh. And before you can stand, before you can react, from the cave, you hear doo, 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 doo. And hopping out, as massive as the chicken, you see a bunny shape, like very cute dwarf bunny shape, but massive, the size of a draft horse. And it is a soft gray and white and has like little like black and brown patches. Like it looks very cute. It has like one ear flopped over. This little like wiggly nose is sniffing at the air.
Smokelin, did I hit my head, or is that a little larger than normal?
Well, it's larger than I've ever seen before, so yeah, a bit larger than normal.
Huh.
And from
Question is whether we're
behind
in
you,
any danger.
you hear a low growl, and you turn around, and you see the black and white streaked collie puppy with curly hair, but also just big, but definitely in puppy proportions. But then you look at their snarling teeth and you realize, oh, those are still very, very dangerous.
Or he's smiling at us. He looks happy.
And it scratches at the ground a little bit.
I think
I have a terrible idea.
yes.
I'm gonna offer it some chocolate. Here, puppy.
But before you do that, because you've done a lot in this game,
Yep.
if your companions have any reactions, because you also are on the ground. What? Because you're closer to the chicken as well. You're between chicken and rabbit. And your friends are closer to dog.
I would like to attempt to climb onto the rabbit.
Okay. So the rabbit's sort of like in the cave, and you want to try to approach the rabbit and then climb on top of it.
Yes.
Okay. How are you doing this?
I would
Describe your actions to me.
I would like to very furtively pull out a corn dog
Mm-hmm.
and sort of toss it a little bit in front of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then while it's hopefully at least sniffing it,
Mm-hmm.
sort of scoot around to the side of its head and then try to climb up its ear.
Okay. I think this might be with disadvantage, as rabbits are notoriously skittish.
Absolutely.
A bit. What are you doing as your friend tosses a corn dog? Like, this is all sort of like similar time frame of happening.
That's
You see-
that's not how you catch an animal. Now I'm gonna down the last of my pint and then
Mhm.
charge at the third animal and just jump
We have a chicken, a rabbit, and a dog.
And Smocklin's doing the rabbit, and Bjorn is doing which one?
Bjorn hasn't acted yet.
Oh, hasn't acted yet.
He's laying in front of the chicken.
Chicken.
Yeah, but he's eyeing the dog and like slowly reaching for the trunk, the smaller but still quite big trunk of chocolate, which dogs love.
Yeah, I'm definitely going for the chicken because eggs and
sure.
And so I'm gonna Ramfrog's gonna just charge at the chicken with a hearty grunt and just jump and climb as hastily and
sure. You're trying to get up there as well. All right. It's morning time. It's the chicken's terrain. With disadvantage, roll me some jump climb chicken attacks, and we'll deal with all those sort of consecutively. Well,
no.
Yep. And you are reaching back, like you've sort of like slid yourself away from the chicken, and you've gotten the chocolate up. How are you approaching this dog?
Well, he looks happy, so I'm gonna feed him some of this delicious dark chocolate. I'm gonna hold it out to him in a very gentle manner.
Okay.
Would you like some chocolate? Here, puppy.
I think. Let me look back over here. So you. Interesting. I'm just going back over what happened because let's see that, and then the cliff thing, and then the
we have
running.
eaten a lot of chocolate. Yes.
We've eaten a lot of chocolate. Yeah, I think that blessing is gonna carry for it. With just a straight roll. Roll me a d20, please.
14.
That's okay. It's okay. It's pretty good. I think all these things sort of happen at the same time. One of you, rabbit distracted by corn dog, soft fluff managed to leap onto their back. One of you holds up a big piece of chocolate for a dog to sniff, and he's like does like a couple of tentative little licks. And one of you tries to jump on a chicken, and the chicken flares its wings back, startling everyone in the scene, and just like flies up just a little bit, and with both feet kicks you in the chest, and you fly back across past the puppy and slam into a tree.
Okay.
And he lets out a screech as we're gonna roll initiative.
Just a d20.
No, this is d20. Now this isn't a fight necessarily, but
4.
4. I haven't drawing nothing but 4s and 5s. God.
Yeah, but
I had to roll bad eventually.
Who did you make mad at roll 20?
I can't edit this turn.
Did you date Mr. Roll 20's daughter? And then
or did
jump
you
her
date
at a
Mr. Roll
steakhouse?
20?
Did you date Mr. Roll 20? And jilt him at a steakhouse? Do you take him out to a nice steak dinner, then never call him again?
7.
Yeah. They gave me that nat 20, and I never thanked them for it.
I'm gonna real quick get something to drink because my throat's killing me.
Oh, absolutely. Everyone stop for a drink. We shouldn't be too much longer. I don't do fights well. I don't do them. That's my moral prerogative. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. This is more of an encounter than a fight. Yeah, I don't want to give you the wrong idea. But they will kill you if you're not careful. But it's not a fight.
Sorry about that, I'm Buck.
So,
Welcome back.
I got the turn tracker up. What do we got
Excellent.
for these 3 creatures?
They all got a 13. They act as one unit.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Goodbye.
Looks like you deleted all of them.
Yeah, he
There we go.
made a
Makes
one
sense.
for a while. Yeah. Yeah.
I was telling Mutton that I've decided to use this voice for Lenny from now on.
That's gonna wreck you. But you know what? I support you if you want to give it a try. Then he suddenly doesn't talk as much.
Is that what you're supporting?
No, because you want to make sure your words count. Not that I wasn't thinking of it like that. I don't feel like Lenny talks a lot, anyways.
She does in the city. I feel like I talk way too much in the city.
No, I feel like Lamb is like always like hunter on mode. So Wolf and Lamb have more interactions, or like when Viral's there, there's always like, "Oh, Viral's here!" Plot, 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 plot.
We finally have everyone. Let's plot.
Yeah. Okay. 13 minutes. So, the critters are going first. I think. I think the Lou, I wish you had left all of the creatures individually so I could just go down them my turn.
Just hit undo a few times.
Yeah. So I think the first interaction we're going to go with is the rabbit, because that's the first thing we did off screen. Not off screen, before the fight. The rabbit is going to flop around and try to dislodge you. So I need you to make a contested d20 roll. My rolls are gigantic because I'm not using the what is it? It's double brackets, is it?
Mm-hmm.
No. Double wiggly brackets?
Nope, square brackets.
Square brackets.
I don't suppose I could get advantage on this roll because of my climbing arms.
That is a good point. I will give you advantage on the roll.
Righty.
Oh, I know what I did.
Yeah, you also don't need to do the slash roll thing. You just do the brackets by themselves.
No. Quiet you. I did it.
Fantastic.
So yeah, you're well matched. It flops over, but you like shimmy around to its belly, and then it kicks at you, and you shimmy back to its side. You're just flopping all over in this cave. The dog. I guess the chicken went first.
Who went first, the chicken or the dog?
That's the title's oldest time. The dog tries it snaps the chocolate out of your hand. The whole rest of the trunk. Do you contest this action, Bjorn?
No, I'm feeding him the chocolate.
Okay. He snaps it out of your hand and like throws it up in the air, and he like bites it, but like pieces of it fall down to the ground around him. And he tries to back away, and he just starts chewing and chewing and chewing.
Cool,
like, like a dog eating a grape as well. Like a little
Also, don't feed dogs grapes.
Yeah, also don't feed dogs chocolate.
Don't feed dogs chocolate or grapes.
Yeah, that's two of the worst things to feed dogs. Luckily, it's magic chocolate, so it's okay.
It actively heals the rejection from his body.
Yeah.
No imaginary dogs were harmed in the making of this D&D.
Yeah. And the chicken's upset. It's kicked you into the forest, but it sees its rabbit friend, so it's going to go over and try to peck you off the rabbit. And since you already are using your climbing skills to stay on, it's just going to roll a d20. 15. You feel a sharp stabby pain in one of your climbing arms, and you lose your grip and you fall to the ground.
Oh.
And by you, I mean Smocklin.
Yep.
I keep saying you a lot. That's on me. I need to have your names up.
Oh, you're good. We can follow
You
along.
need to say your names more, like Bjorn.
My name is Bjorn Bjornsson.
Bjorn Bjornsson.
Yes. Except the middle name's pronounced foolish.
Yes. Bjorn
Spelled Bjorn,
Foolish
pronounced
Bjornsson. Yeah.
foolish.
That is the way of their people. So that is a critter's turn. As the chicken is now at the mouth of the cave, and the dog is in the woods. Or not in the woods, but like just off. Away from you, just a little bit. Trying to choke down that chocolate as much as you can. All right, Smocklin.
Right. So I think he's going to spring up and dust himself off.
Viciously pecked. You're bleeding.
Ah.
He pecked your peck.
Oh, that dastardly cock.
What a cock!
Yeah.
Wait, the one you were trying to ride?
No, that...
The other one who pecked him.
Excuse me.
Look,
He
you
is
said
very
it!
I am gonna have to have Smocklin.
He couldn't grip those buns, so he got pecked with a cock. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. I think Smocklin's gonna suddenly go into fight mode at this point. He's like,
Sure. You got pecked.
This chicken is awfully rude.
and there's gonna see what he can do to get it in a headlock, I guess, with both his arms.
It is like a 10-foot tall chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gonna try his best.
Yeah. I'm like, hold on. I was like 10 foot. It's like room plus height. Yeah, that works. Yeah. Okay. So give me a roll. It's D20. See you do. Draft horse.
Natural 20 to choke the chicken.
Nice.
I'm
Choking the chicken, all right.
All the things you sent to me. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. You sort of like stand up. You shove some band-aids in your chest. And you stand in the mouth of the cave. Like it's dark in here. You know it's bright outside, so you're like hoping that like it's not quite dark in here, but it's like got a sharp shadow because the sun's coming from the left, which is casting a shadow across the front of the cave, which is facing mostly under.
Oh, okay.
Under.
Okay.
Yeah, mostly under. Yeah. So you like duck, and it tries to jab at you again, and you just quick whip around, and and it like bucks up and it slams you into the wall. You hear a tinny scattering of stone, which seems weird. And you have it in a headlock and you're struggling, and it's kicking at the dirt, and you kind of like have it flipped on its side a little bit. It's trying to flap its wings. It hits the rabbit a little bit. And you realize like as you're like fighting it and you're in fight mode, your senses are heightened, and you realize that the cave itself isn't exactly all dark. It is there are 3 dimly glowing sort of like crystals in the center of this cave, and sort of piled up in the edges like are just beautiful eggs of various, like some broken, some not. Yeah, much more than the handful that you were asked. You're only asked to bring in like as many as each of you, like 4. You know, they don't want to do too many because people it'll degrade in value. Yeah, that's what you see as you're sort of struggling. But you have this thing in a headlock. Ramferg, it's your turn.
Chicken. I'll show you who's the real turkey.
Yeah, you can see this chicken in a vicious battle with your friend at the mouth of the cave.
This is
stand up. So much yelling and running in this game.
And I'm
It's
gonna
just
go
three
yelling and running
oaths.
to tackle and climb that chicken once more.
Okay. It is currently on its side a little bit. So you can climb it. It would have advantage to climb it, but you're not really like mounting it, just so that's clear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jumping as far up.
Oh no.
You do a jump and just a quick flip of the wing, and you just go over it, and land softly enough in the stomach of a bunny. But then the bunny kicks you in the head, and you flip out of the cave. But you back on your feet. You're a little dazed. Was too terrible of a roll. Not too far from 10. Yeah, but you little fuzzy visioned. Dice are not your friend today.
Where's my lucky
Yeah, but
feet?
you were
Rabbit's
not
foot. I need a rabbit's foot.
you were eye to eye with the rabbit who has like gotten back on his feet now, and just like its ears are back, and it's like doing that like panty like panic breath that rabbits do sometimes. Bjorn.
Seeing as battle has broken out amongst my friends, you see the light of battle rage filling in my eyes, and I start to charge towards the giant chicken, and I would like to Bjorn.
You Bjorn, you full Bjorn.
And I'm gonna
Bjorn
swing.
on.
I'm gonna swing my giant teddy bear and smack this chicken.
Absolutely.
Do I get advantage because I'm Bjornin?
You do. You get advantage. You get double advantage because it is pinned and you're Bjorning.
I'm not out sure how many d20s to roll because I got intelligence of 3, so I'll let you pick.
You roll as many as you have intelligence. You roll. You get a 15. You wallop it good. And I think with your friend pinning it down and the fact that we have a few minutes left, you manage to conk the chicken, and the chicken gets knocked unconscious with the teddy bear. Maybe like it's like bead nose, like hits it right on like a pressure point in its head, and it just goes like passes out. And you feel Smocklin, you feel the creature stop kicking and really slow down, and like you're really struggling against it, and just like sort of like.
I would like to roll in triumph.
You do.
Bjorn.
And as y'all are fighting off, you hear a raspy voice say, "Stop! Stop! Everyone, shut the fuck up!" As you turn to where the puppy was, and you see the now oh so human shape of a human. In leather armor, no weapons visible, sort of plotchy, like they have like the Vidalcan color pattern, like white face going down to a white chest with like a gray skin, similar to what the puppy had. It's like, stop! Stop! That's what they want! She like drops to the ground and like picks up 2 more pieces of chocolate and like kind of like just like cautiously almost like walks out, and he almost like it's struggling for him to walk on 2 feet.
Are you okay?
Well, I know I get confused easily, but were you recently a dog?
Yes, for a year. Here, and he walks over to like is like holding a thing's like, if it's okay, I'm just gonna do this thing, and he hands you Smocklin a piece of chocolate, and he goes over to Ramfork and has you a piece of chocolate too. He says, please give it to them, free them. I need to sit. I've sniffed my ass so much over the last year. It's all coming back to me. Yeah.
If you do it right, it's quite invigorating.
Ooh, what would I've had to eat?
Smocklin, being the very agreeable person that he is going to go ahead and give a try at doing that.
Yeah,
Feeding
just like
the other big animals the chocolate.
crumble it into the bird's mouth and like patting its throat like you would a horse in a medicine pill.
Yep.
Ramfurg, are you as well following the lead of your companions?
Yeah. After sharing a pint and a toast with the new guest.
A
If you
drink
finish
to your
the pint.
humanity.
You're human, huzzah!
Hey! Woohoo!
And
And go to offer the chocolate and a pint to the next animal, to the rabbit. Yeah.
Yeah, the rabbit takes the chocolate, eyes the pint, and just sort of like pushes it back a little bit with his paw, shakes his head, and transforms into a furbolg with a sort of low bridge and like longer rabbit type ears. And the chicken goes ahead and transforms into an elf with a chicken bard, an elf bard, not a chicken bard, chicken boo. It remains a chicken. No, so an elf standing there in rather bright, festive bardic clothing. Just
Yeah.
still, like pushes himself back, and draft horse. Smocklin, you notice that the 3 crystals in the cave sort of dim and then go out.
Sorry for smacking you with my teddy bear.
It's okay. I did. I imagine startle you. Terribly sorry about that.
So, I think this is a bit beyond our ken. So, I don't suppose you know what's going on. We were just going to get some eggs. It seems like this is a whole big drama and conspiracy.
So were we. And it turns out that we were the bait for this. Sorry, I've not used words in a year. I was like, been sequestered away, social distancing.
Don't worry, I completely understand. If I don't talk for more than a couple of days, I'd stop talking to you.
Yes. We were tasked to fetch some rather special eggs for a town nearby, and judged by this corn dog, they sort of like kick it a little bit, he was sent by the same people. We gathered up the eggs and we found these lovely crystals in the cave, and it turns out that when we got back to town, it was a bit of a ceremony, and the creatures that we had dispatched to gather these eggs, we subdued them lethally, were the ones who produced such things. As you know, the animal creatures here. You get an egg, you get an animal shot. That's what we came for. We thought we'd be rewarded. We were rewarded with betrayal, as the crystals transformed us into those creatures that you saw. And I suspect the creatures before us as well.
So what you're saying is the crystals are bad?
Yes. They made a dependence for us. And we put them on and they would transform into these creatures. And our senses were taken and dulled. It took us months to regain any sort of sentience. We were out here living as wild creatures.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah,
Sorry
we
you
knew.
had to go through that. That's an awful thing to do.
Yes. And now that we're back, we're going to burn that town to the ground.
Yeah!
Yeah. We don't know how we got here is the thing. We're traipsing the woods. I think we got close once. And you all remember the big bunny warren that was just outside of town. But I was compelled to come back to the cave by nightfall, so I could never get too far.
Well, there's this path that goes up this cliffside, and then it goes through a wood, and then next to a very scary-looking bunch of lemonade. and then through another wood to the town.
And you better watch out for the squirrel. I think that squirrel hates us now.
It cuts to a squirrel being washed up on a rock, like pulling itself up, and then it opens its eyes, and there's a flash and a.
I once made a squirrel barbarian from Pathfinder.
That's
It was
so
a level
good.
20 barbarian.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
So many levels. Yeah. So they've told you of their woe. I think we're gonna wrap up with a little epilogue of what y'all do. I'm gonna go down, and you can talk about yourself. You can say it together. And I'm not gonna go down any list. It's the end of the game. It's 1:06 in our specific Pacific time. What do y'all do, knowing that the town has been using just a few adventurers out of the thousands that come? So they probably a reasonable. They probably would have died anyways.
I like
As guardians.
I like the idea of a montage of us burning the city to the ground. And
remember, the town is full of adventurers as well.
Yeah.
So
I never said I was good.
of you trying to burn the town and immediately getting arrested and being turned into one of these creatures anyways. Why don't we all roll for it? To see how good we do.
I'm gonna try and... Okay, this is gonna sound weird, but bear with me. I'm gonna sneak into the old lady's house, put the crystal on her, and try to turn her into an animal.
I like where you're thinking.
Oh no.
Yep.
I'm gonna go find so that we can have beautiful music in our montage.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll roll the 9.
Well, okay, so we're gonna go to the list. You using the festival noise as distraction and your born-like abilities to cause chaos where it needs to be, a fair bit of this town is set aflame. And the adventurers sort of like rally they find some of their friends there, and it sort of like becomes like groups against groups, and like the townspeople are panicking, and a fireworks stand goes up and it shoots into the sky, and it's all chaos and wonder. And you don't manage to find and you spend a fair bit. You get there in like the middle of the ruckus, so you feel like you sort of like missed a fair portion of like the revenge part, but you set a cabbage stand. Yeah, you set like a fabric store. It goes up pretty well. It's got some bright colors with the dyes and everything. And you sort of like join in the revelry, but you didn't manage to find you didn't get a band together before you started. There's a couple of like entrepreneurial bards who are like writing notes down and like twinging a little bit, but it's it's not quite as collective as you would have liked.
I'll join with the singing in my beautiful singing voice.
Sure, absolutely, and your the dulcet tones of Bjorn and the Bjornettes carry over the screams of the townsfolk.
Had the time of my life.
Turns out that Bjorn is surprisingly good a throat singer.
Yeah. And that brings us to Smocklin. Smocklin, you sneak into the mayor's house, hopefully finding them asleep, but not quite connecting the points that if the town is on fire and they're screaming, even though it's night, they might not be asleep. And you go over to the figure in the bed, and you sort of like put the pendant down, and you realize it's just a big hat in the shape of her hair. And you hear a voice behind you. It's like, well, it looks like we'll only have one guardian for next year. And you hear a rattle of a necklace, and you see the enemy eye flash as she disappears and like reappears in front of you and just punches you square in the gut.
just
You
completely bald as well.
Yeah, completely bald. And she punches you in the gut, and you bend over instinctively, and you feel the cold metal necklace slide around your neck.
Oh
and
no!
and
Poor
that is where
smuggler.
we will end tonight's. And as darkness fades from you, as your form begins to shift, you hear her say, "Well, it can't win every year."
Does Ramfig?
We
was
did it!
Ramfig burning down the town, or what was happening there?
Oh yeah, no, a fair bit gets burnt down, but it's like a lot of it's put up for the festival stuff, and I think they kind of assume some years the adventurers are going to get the one-ups on them. Yeah,
Okay.
and there's just too many people for it to be like completely destroyed because there's nowhere really for them to go. So it just turns into a big brawl. Yeah, and we'll see if there are any lasting consequences for this town.
Yeah, Renfric finds the pile of bottle rockets and starts flinging them at other adventurers.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha.
Bjorn's just gonna go
Having a good
Bjorning with
time.
all the gentlemen. We're gonna just start punching it up.
Yeah, and it turns out like as the story escapes, it's like, oh, there's rumors that they like turn people into animals, and some people are like, oh, I want to be an animal. And then it, like last year got really out of hand, but it wasn't a bunch of drunken fun. So I feel like nothing really changes. Maybe a couple of new houses next time. Maybe a single big animal. That's a llama.
Sure.
It was either that or a kangaroo.
Yeah, and maybe a couple of the knocked out or more inebriated adventurers find themselves drafted into the festivities for next year preemptively. But that's the game.
I'm suddenly realizing why they picked people of such intellectual caliber to go to get the eggs.
Because even if they take revenge, what are they going to do? Set the town on fire?
All right.
Yeah,
well,
we did
thank you
it.
for the Easter special, Gene.
Yeah, thanks.
Yes, it was quite enjoyable. And now I've got to learn how to turn this voice off.
Say vodka.
Vodka.
Nope.
Vodka.
No. Vodka.
Ale.
Yes. Close enough. All right, I'm gonna go rest my
coffee,
voice.
beer,
Coffee. Say coffee.
Coffee.
beer.
Coffee. You're getting closer.
Hey, I'm
Beer.
walking here.
Yeah, you're walking here. I'm walking here. And with that joke, I'm gonna thank you for playing. Thank you for letting me do a little impromptu.
Yeah, it was fun.
Ridiculousness.
Yeah.
And thanks again, guys, for playtesting the Master.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be a little more refined by the time we get to it in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So, looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm glad we got to do a little bit of both.
Yeah,
I'll see you in 2 weeks.
All right.
Yeah.
See you next time.